Alright, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, we're going to do an unboxing and my review of the Hurom H400 Easy Clean Juicer. I have featured the H400 in other videos where I compared it against other machines, but I wanted to have a dedicated video for the H400 so that you could understand it better and actually the real reason why it is superior to other juicers on the market. And that is because this is an Easy Clean Series juicer. What you guys don't understand is a lot of people that I hear from say that, like, John, I love to drink juice because I know I'm getting healthier because of it, but I hate the cleaning process and I hate sitting there over the juicer pushing each produce item in. It gets really monotonous and also very time consuming. Hurom listened to the customers out there and has been literally evolving juicers now over the last 50 years. Yes, Hurom in Korea has been in business since 1974, and they literally invented the vertical auger juicing technology nearly 20 years ago in 2005, and I've been using their very machines since that time myself. And I will say myself that the Hurom factory in Korea makes the top quality vertical and horizontal single auger juicers in the world, period. Now, sometimes they are sold under other brands such as Nama, as well as Sana and some Omega models. That being said, they have their own brand that they have technology that are not released in other companies' products, right? And that's what the Hurom H400 is. It's their brand new second generation Easy Clean design that requires no scrubbing. And you know, this makes cleanup a breeze. Literally, I've cleaned up other juicers like this in a minute. So when I clean this video, I will time it and show you guys how long it takes, which I expect it to take under 60 seconds. Once again, because there's no scrubbing required. You're not going to get the mineral buildup, and in addition, because this has a hopper, you literally could just dump the produce in there, shut the lid, and then you get to walk away. So you could load and go, let the juicer do all the juicing without you, right? Come back, you got a juice to drink. I say drink your juice first, and then all you need to do is take the juicer to your sink, hose it down with the kitchen sprayer, right? Under a minute, and boom! It's the easiest juice ever, and this is something other brands can't offer. Other brands, yes, may have hoppers and whatnot, but they got stainless steel screens that you need to sit there and scrub all the pulp out, or your yield over time will diminish, all right? So that is really the claim to fame on the Hurom H400. The other thing I want to tell you guys is that the H400, this is their top of the line machine. It sells for the most money of any Hurom juicer and is actually tied with other high-end vertical auger juicers on the market. Now, because it is selling for the most money, does that mean it's better? Well, in some ways, yes, and in some ways, no, of course. But that being said, if you don't know who I am, my name is John Kohler, and I started the website Discount Juicers and Company back in 1998 to save you guys money on juicers. I first did this by partnering with local distributors that lived near me. When I'd get an order online, I'd literally go up to the distributor, buy the juicer at wholesale, mark it up just a little bit because I ran the business out of my house, and then shipped it to you so you guys could save money. I've been doing that for over 25 years, and to this date, I still will save you guys the most money. Thanks to my partnership with Hurom, I'm here to ensure you guys get the lowest price at the time you place your order. So if you guys are looking for the Hurom H400 or any of the other different Hurom juicers, make sure you guys use the coupon code HIGHEND, that's H-I-G-H-E-N-D, HIGHEND, because the Hurom H400 is the high-end juicer. Of course, that coupon code will also work on other Hurom juicers, and that coupon code is good for a minimum of 10% off your purchase, although in many cases it may be even more, because I've negotiated the best discount available for you guys, and my coupons will always give you guys the best available discount. So if I've helped you out by shedding light on the machine, showing you demonstrations of the machines, teaching you guys about juicers, comparing the different juicers so that you guys could see in front of your eyes the right one for you, please help me out too by using that coupon code. Hurom will share with me a small commission so I can continue to take time out of my day to make these educational videos for you guys, pay my video editor my light bill, and buy my produce to make these videos so I can share my expert opinions and knowledge, since I have been juicing now for the last 29 years, and I love to share my knowledge to benefit other people in the world, because it is not something that most people really consider valuable. So thank you for those of you guys that will use my coupon code or have used it in the past. Once again, HIGHEND saves you guys 10% off minimum, but will get you the best available discount at the time you place your order at Hurom.com. All right, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to this unboxing and review. So first off, I want to go ahead and show you guys the top of the box. Basically, the Hurom H400 comes in multiple colors, and it does say BPA-FREE, and of course, this machine is made in Korea. Now, one thing I want to let you guys know about is on the front of the box, there's a warning sticker, right? And I want to read this off to you because it's very important, actually. It says, this product contains chemicals including dephthalate, which is known to the state of California to cause cancer and or reproductive harm. For more information, go to p65warnings.ca.gov. All right, so what this warning means, it's for residents of the state of California, but I guess also benefits other people that don't live in California, because if there's certain cancer-causing chemicals or something in different products, it has to have this warning to protect customers so that they could make an informed decision. So for example, when I drive to California and I pump my gas, every single gas pump in the state has a P65 warning. If I go to the supermarket and pick up some seaweed, most packages of seaweed have a Prop 65 warning on it because of heavy metal contamination. Many other food products may also have a P65 warning. Now on the Hurom P65 warning, I've talked and discussed to Hurom about this in depth, and they're telling me the only reason why this is on the box is because of the cord that you plug into the wall. It is flexible, and actually it contains the dephthalate, which is what makes the cord flexible. Other cords in the world also have this dephthalate in there, but yet some juicer companies choose not to put a P65 warning on their juicer. So is that something that you should be concerned about? Like, the cord never comes in contact with your juice. I personally don't think it's an issue, and I admire Hurom for putting the warning on their box to be upfront and straightforward with you guys on what is in their products. At the same time, I've also requested from Hurom dedicated letter on their letterhead stating that the only reason why this is on the box is because of the extension cord, because all the other parts that touch your food are the same materials that other major brand juicers use as well. And some of those companies actually don't have a Prop 65 warning. Of course, I've also requested that Hurom use the cords to plug it into the wall that don't contain the dephthalate, so that they no longer have to put this warning on the box, because I do think it can deter some of you guys out there from buying their juicer. In any case, on with the show. Let's go ahead and open up this box. They have actually kind of improved packaging on the H400. And as you guys can see, when we open the box only has 3 simple boxes in here, which is really nice. You have the main chamber set, so this does all the juicing. There's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 parts on there. You have the one main motor body. You have the juice catch cup. Within the main motor body, the pulp catch cup is built in. And then you get a pusher that you probably shouldn't even need to use, a cleaning brush that you also shouldn't need to use, and the cord. All right, so let's go ahead and take out each of these components. Oh, and I forgot, we got the warranty and instruction book that came out of the box as well. As you guys can see, you get a bunch of things in here. You get a recipe booklet with lots of different recipes. This is in multiple languages. You also get a hidden tag, so they have a special tag on here. There was a problem with people in China basically knocking off Hurom products. So they put a hidden tag so you could verify that you have a legitimate product. Now the other thing I want to let you guys know is that you may be able to find the Hurom H400 on different websites for less money. But I want you guys to be aware that if you guys buy an imported Hurom H400, such as if it's a 220 volt model and you're using it in the United States with a power converter, right, you will not have your warranty. So you better think about that nice and hard before you try to save a few $100s on the machine. You're going to really not have a warranty. And when you use a machine designed for different voltage in a different country, there could be a lot of problems with it, and it could actually blow out, which has actually happened to me before. So I don't recommend that practice. Of course, some of you guys will want to save money. But here's the thing, you know, Hurom has been in business now for the last 50 years. They literally make the world's best juicers. In addition, you have an instruction book in multiple languages. Always encourage you guys to read all the documentation before you start using your juicer so that you don't break your expensive machine. All right, so let's go ahead and open some of these boxes up. This first box just has 3 simple parts in it. You have your plug-in cord. This side plugs into the juicer, and this side plugs into the standard US household wall. You then have a pusher used to push produce into the machine should you need it. That being said, I never use a pusher on hopper juicers. And then, of course, you have a cleaning brush that you shouldn't really need to use. Next up, we have the whole chamber set coming out, and I do like that they have this pre-assembled, right? So you literally just pull it out, and you could literally just put it on the machine and start juicing today. So finally coming out, we got the main juicer body and the juice catch cup. This is probably the heaviest box of them all. And so first comes out the juice catch cup. Now I would say this catch cup is only marked up to 600 milliliters, so this tends to be a smaller catch cup than comes with other juicers of this size and quality. Normally there's like a 1000 milliliter catch cup, and now we're just gonna go ahead and pull out the main motor body. Another thing I'm not the biggest fan of is that this motor body is huge. This is probably one of the biggest motor bodies on any of the juicers, because not only do we have the juicer down here, but now we have all this plastic that basically hides the juicing apparatus, so you can't really see what's going on, but also this kind of on some levels makes it kind of more upscale. In addition, you can see in the back of this machine, much like some of those coffee makers that are built in, this has a built-in pulp catch container that catches your pulp, so no longer do you have a separate pulp catch container sitting on your counter. So this could kind of make it more streamlined and clean looking on your counter if aesthetics are very important to you. That being said, for me personally, functionality is a lot more important than aesthetics. So actually that's why I prefer the Hurom H70, which is their latest and newest model into the United States market. Actually, and it costs a bit less than the H400. I'll put a link below to my unboxing video of the H70 that I would prefer to buy over the H400. But of course, if you want the top of the line, the one that has a little more capacity, that looks a little more streamlined and hidden, and really doesn't look like a juicer, has a built-in catch cup, the H400 is for you. This is kind of more of a family size machine. Anyways, when you take the whole chamber set and put it on top, you guys can see it literally hides in there. So I mean, it almost looks like some kind of some futuristic coffee maker on here. I mean, I suppose many of you guys may like this design. I mean, I think it looks cool because everything's hidden. It may look like some kind of coffee maker because this is like where you put the beans and the beans grind and drop in and all these things. I don't know. But yeah, so that's really the H400 in a nutshell. Comes in multiple colors. I guess let's go ahead and get the box out of the way, and let's go ahead and go over each of the parts so you guys can be fully aware of how this machine works and why it is different than other juicers out there. All right, so now I want to show you guys what makes the Hurom H400 unique. Number one is its like styling. Now I will say it is a little bit taller than other juicers out there, but you know, once again, all the juicing apparatus is hidden. You know, some people like to watch the juicer work, like me, and some people could care less. So this may work for them because it kind of looks more modern. The main thing about this machine is that everything you need to clean when you're done is pretty much here, except for the catch cup you'll need to empty and rinse out as well. So really the claim to fame on the Easy Clean series and the H400 are two things. Number one, it is this hopper that you just turn off and lift up, right? What you have to do is you have to stick your finger underneath the latch and pull it open, and then the lid will open up, right? And inside this hopper that holds about 35 ounces of food, you literally could put all your produce in there, from kale to celery to carrots to apples, cucumbers, ginger, whatever you're juicing. You fill up this little hopper and you shut the lid, and you can then walk away, because what's going to happen is in the bottom of this hopper, you guys can see there's a processing blade. I'm spinning it around my finger here on the bottom. It's normally driven by the motor. And what happens is this processing blade comes around and hits your produce, partially cuts it up into smaller pieces so that no cutting is required of many produce items, right? And then it feeds it into the juicer, into this hole right here that you guys can see my finger, at a slow and moderate rate, so that you get the best performance and highest yield on this juicer. This is a big problem of the vertical juicers that Hurom made literally 20 years ago, like in 2005, when they invented the SST technology, because people would basically start cramming things in there and then it would clog and jam. Maybe you have an old Hurom or other brand vertical juicer that clogs and jams with too many fibers, and that's because you're not pre-cutting them properly and not slowly feeding them in. And that's what this system does for you. It pre-cuts it, and then it feeds it in at the slow and moderate rate that the juicer needs, so that you'll have hassle-free juicing. That is why the hopper juicers are my favorite type of juicer at this time. Now, the other thing is, it looks like this little space here on the H400 is a little bit smaller than other machines. This could be good and bad. This could actually slow down how fast the produce goes in. So this may mean the juicer will work better. It'll also probably mean that this juicer will take a bit longer to operate and run than some other comparable juicers. All right, and then let's see here. On the bottom of this, they have a little gasket here. So that means you could actually do an auto clean function on this machine before you take it apart to clean it by dumping in some soapy water. Maybe I'll show you guys this in a little bit. So that is the main hopper. So that's one part you will need to clean when you're done juicing. And then you have the second part you'll need to clean, the auger. And then you have the third part, the juicing bowl. This auger does separate into two pieces, so you guys can see I'm holding it. And now we could pull off the bottom piece, okay? So how this system works is they've eliminated the juicing screen, because normally the juicing screen goes on the outside of the auger, and as the auger is running, it squeezes the produce between the auger and the juicing screen, and then the juice comes out the little holes, and the pulp runs down and then gets ejected out. With this new Hurom Easy Clean auger design, what happens is the produce is ground up between the auger and the juicing bowl. You guys can see the little ribbing in here. That's what the produce kind of gets ground against. The ribbing in there and some of the ribbing here on the auger. And then what happens is, as the juice comes out of the produce, it then falls inward, right, through the little holes between the different auger sections, right? You guys can see, as I put this together, you guys can see like the little crack in there. And literally all the juice falls between those cracks and then comes out the bottom of the auger and then comes out the front of the juicer. So that is literally how this auger works. Once again, this is the second generation design of this auger, which is the best yet so far. And I mean, it's a pretty solid design. Let's see if they've strengthened this. So like the first generation design, I had some issues with like this being a little bit more flexible, but now this is pretty rigid and tight in there. They've definitely improved this over the first generation. And also, based on my testing, it also performs quite well and adequate. It gets the highest yield yet of the Easy Clean system. That being said, all Easy Clean juicers will put a little bit more pulp in your juice and make it a little bit more thick. Of course, depending on what you're juicing, can mean more pulp or less pulp. So some items like celery, generally going to put less pulp in your juice, and something like apples that tend to get soft are going to put a lot more pulp than apples that are firm and crisp. I recommend like getting some firm and crisp Granny Smith apples. They're going to generally put less pulp in your juice than, say, a softer Gala apple will. And then the final part you need to clean is just the juicing bowl, which is a two-tone. I do like this juicing bowl because it's all one piece. Some of the other juicing bowls kind of like had one piece on the inside, then kind of like an outside, and then they had like an inner chamber thing. But I do like this juicing bowl because it's all one piece, and it's very easy clean. So where the pulp comes out, which actually ends up going into the container here, you just have to flip this little gate here, and then this thing drops open, right? And what I really love about this is before the pulp comes out, it has this little flap. You guys see that flap? This flap puts back pressure on the pulp, doesn't allow the pulp to come out until it's dry, and then it's pushing out, and then basically this silicone flap will give way and allow the dry pulp to come out. In addition, I like that this has a very short run. Some other juicers have a longer run, which means the pulp has to travel out a sufficient way, which means more to clean. This is very easy to clean. In addition, they've actually raised up this little flap instead of being closed down, so that means it's going to be easier to clean underneath it, unlike some of the other juicers out there. Now over to the other side, this is where the juice comes out. They do have a juice flap that is kind of integrated in there, so this is the juice flap. You could open it up to have the juice come out as you're juicing, which is what I recommend, and probably the manual also recommends. The manual says in the H70 book, and I didn't check this book, to keep it open while you're juicing. Although many people will close this while juicing, then what happens is the juice then will back up into the chamber, and at a certain point you better release it or it'll actually end up overflowing. But what happens is this will back up in the chamber, and then you have this little level gauge, like a fuel gauge in your car. So this gauge will kind of like start moving up with juice as the chamber is filling with juice. And then, of course, when you get to the top, that's when you know you need to open this. All right? So when you leave the juice in the chamber, my personal opinion, two things happen. Number one, you're going to oxygenate the juice more because it's being spun around due to the auger that's running in this juicer at 90 revolutions per minute. That's number one. And number two, because the juice is spinning around inside the chamber, I mean, the juicer is trying to extract juice from the produce and grind open cell walls and extract juice, but at the same time, if the chamber is filled up with juice, it's not going to be as effective, and your pulp will come out a bit more wet based on my testing. Now, because there's this level gauge, which is not my favorite thing, you have to take this little clip, unclip it, and then you could lift this level gauge up, and then now you could easily clean in here and then clean this area out. This level gauge is fully attached on a hinge. It is not removable, whereas on the newer model, the H70, it is actually removable, so that makes it a bit more easy to clean than this one that is actually on a hinge, although you will never lose this either. So once again, pro and a con. And when you're done, you got to take this and then latch it back in place. Also, you got to make sure that this gasket does not fall out, otherwise you're going to be in a heap of trouble. All right, so assembly on the H400 is quite easy. You're just going to take the juicing bowl, make sure this is latched here, this is latched here. You're going to go ahead and then take the auger, one half the auger, the other half the auger, just put those together. Then you're going to drop the auger right into the juicing bowl. That just seats all the way down. This is a lot more easy to assemble than other vertical hopper style juicers that you gotta like line up dots or line up half moons. You just put this in, you drop it down, there's no lining up, and it assembles very easily. Of course, the final step is you take the main hopper, and there's a padlock and an unlock and a lock on the main hopper. Then you're gonna line that up with a little arrow here, so we're lining up the unlock with the arrow. And then we're gonna go ahead and rotate this to line up the padlock with the arrow. And basically what's going to happen is you want the handle to be over where the pulp comes out. And then you can take the handle and just drop this in the entire machine so all the juicing apparatus is hidden. You have the sight gauge so you can see the juice comes out the front. You put the produce, the juice in there, and the pulp comes out the back. And if you have assembled it correctly, which is actually hard to assemble incorrectly, because let's see if you could put this on backwards. Oh, they don't let you put this, they don't let you assemble this backwards. So I love that the Hurom engineers did this so that you can't assemble the juicer wrong. You have to assemble it correctly. All right, so if you've assembled it correctly, you can go ahead and then turn the machine on. There's an on and off switch on the back. and we're gonna go ahead and do a sound test on the machine to see how loud it is. All right, we're running at about 63 decibels, kind of fluctuates between 62, 63, sometimes 64. So that's actually a really quiet juicer. Now it does run at 90 RPM, which is a little bit faster than other vertical hopper style juicers out there. All right, so next up, I want to go ahead and juice in the Hurom H400 to show you guys how easy it is to juice. Also, I want to show you guys an auto cleaning feature of the H400. Today, I'll be juicing 3 cucumbers, a whole bunch of organic carrots, 2 apples, about a 1.5 inch piece of ginger, and 1 lime. The amazing thing about the H400 is that no pre-cutting is required on many different vegetables and fruits. Of course, consult the instruction manual that is included to learn the specifics. Every different produce item may have different procedures for juicing. That being said, pretty much all these ingredients could just be tossed into the hopper. Many of them may not fit whole, so I may just break them in half with my hand and load up the hopper. The other thing I really like, although the plastic collection cup that comes with the H400 holds only 600 milliliters, I do like that I could use my 1,000 milliliter or 1 quart standard wide mouth mason jar, which will fit right under the spout. So I guess to juice, all you got to do literally is open the lid, and then we're just going to start tossing the different produce items in. So, first we just toss a whole lemon in. On the ginger, I do like to break the ginger up with my hand, or break that into a few pieces. Once again, we don't really need to cut it up or waste time. The carrot, you just take the carrot, just, break it in half. We could try to put the carrot in whole, but then if you put the carrot in whole without breaking it up, it'll take longer to process. So I do recommend you break it into a few pieces. It's always going to work a little better. Same thing on the cucumber. We can just take this cucumber, break it in 3 different pieces. No cutting required, super simple. The apple, I can't sit here and rip it in half, so we're just going to put it in whole. Not a big deal. Going to break up some of the carrots, drop that in there as well. And then once again, put some more pieces of this cucumber in there. And we're going to see if we could go ahead and break up a few more of these carrots. I'm going to go ahead and drop this lid down and latch it in place. I do like this lid latches securely, so it's not going to pop up should you overload the hopper. That being said, there is a line here which you should not overload the hopper or the machine may have some difficulties. That being said, it looks like I did overload the hopper just a little bit. All right, so with that, I want to make sure my spout cap is open, and now we're just going to go ahead and turn the juicer on and let it get juicing. So as you guys can see, the processing blade comes on. You probably can't really see inside there too much. You can see maybe some of the produce spinning around. Basically what's happening is the machine is cutting up the produce even smaller, and then basically having it drop into the machine where it gets processed through the 2-piece auger. And now we're making juice out on this side. If you look closely out the back, we're making pulp, right? And as the juicer is processing, the apple is getting pushed down, the carrots and the ginger and the cucumbers are going down, so now we have more room in there. So now we're going to use this little feed chute on the top and just drop in more produce as the machine is going. Alright, as you guys can see, the machine is working just great. It's been processing all the produce, hasn't even stopped once. I think we have a little bit more room in the hopper because all we have left is 1 apple. We're going to go ahead and lift up the lid, and when you guys lift up the lid, the machine automatically stops. So this machine would be safe to use with kids when you are supervising them. We could go ahead and then just drop this other apple in there, shut the lid, and now we're off and juicing again. Now the amazing thing is, once you have all your produce loaded in the hopper, you actually don't even need to babysit the machine. So we're just going to go ahead and get up and let the machine work on its own. Alright, so you guys can see we've almost filled up that whole quart of juice. So we're going to go ahead and put the stopper down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this juice out, and we're going to go ahead and put another quart mason jar underneath there. and we're going to go ahead and let the Hurom H400 finish up. Alright, so you guys can see the Hurom H400 is almost done juicing. I can see there's like some produce that's just sitting on the processing blade and spinning around, and actually it's going so fast that it actually skips the hole in many cases. So hopefully one of these times it'll actually just catch. I think that's one of the downsides of it running at the 90 revolutions per minute. That being said, it looks like everything ended up dropping in to the hopper as expected. Also, you guys can see we basically filled up this pulp catch container to the brim, right? You probably wouldn't want to juice much more than this because this pulp catch container is literally overflowing at this point. We made approximately 1,300 milliliters of juice, and looks like we're pretty much done, so we can go ahead and turn the machine off. And what I like to do every time is lift this up, and now we're just going to go ahead and tip this down to see if we get any last drips of juice out. Now we're going to go ahead and close the spout cap. And you guys can see here's all the juice we made with the Hurom H400, uneventful, didn't even stop once. So now you guys can see here's all the juice we made with the H400. Now we're going to go ahead and taste test some of the juice we made. Wow, it's a good juice. I'm definitely tasting some of the pulp in there. Now we did not use a sieve. This machine does not include an additional sieve to sieve out the juice. That being said, based on my previous testing, I have found that the Hurom 400 and the Easy Clean series machines do elevate the level of pulp in your juice to make a more thick juice. That being said, I'll be the first to tell you that there are pros and cons to having pulp in your juice. Some people like a clean juice, a pulp-free juice, right? That's just a lot nicer on the palate. That being said, there's something to having pulp in the juice. Some of the studies I've seen says that if you have pulp in the juice will maybe store longer. Of course, other studies show that when you have pulp in the juice, you may get more health benefits due to some of that pulp that is actually in the juice that you're now ingesting that you otherwise would not have. But to me, this juice is actually quite acceptable for sure. So now I'm going to show you guys how to auto clean this machine that probably nobody else online is going to show you except for me. So what you're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab like about 800 milliliters of clean water with 2 squirts of dish soap in there. We're going to make sure the spout cap is down. We're going to go ahead and lift this up. And we're just going to go ahead and pour the water into the catch cup here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shut the lid, and we're going to turn the machine on. What's going to happen is all the water in here is then going to cycle through the machine. You may see some additional pulp come out of the where the pulp comes out. Then what you're going to see is on the little level gauge here, the level gauge of the water will continue to rise up to a certain point and then stay steady. So what you're doing at this point is you're literally having the juicer clean itself, because now you got soapy water running through the juicer, running through all the different juicer parts. It's helping to kind of clean out the juicer just a little bit. It's also going to pre-soap up the juicer for you so that when you hose it off literally, or rinse it off, you know, because no scrubbing is required, it's going to make it a little bit easier for you to do. So you guys can see the level is up there. It's been running several minutes now. So at some point you're just going to want to go ahead and open up the spout cap and check it out. You guys can see some of the dirty water coming out. Actually, this is just the carotenoid colored water. This is stuff that actually you would need to rinse out of the juicer when you're done, but now we've already pre-rinsed it out by simply just dumping some water in there with some soap and letting the machine agitate the water around itself. Due to the special gasket that's built in between the hopper and the juicing bowl, it does not allow it to leak. Other machines on the market may end up leaking if you do this function, so you will not want to do this function. It may end up ruining your juicer, but not so on the high-end Hurom H400. So you guys can see this has run quite a little bit of time. We got some additional pulp to come out the backside. Now we're just going to go ahead and turn it off, and we're going to go ahead and lift this up and tip it forward for you guys, and you guys can see inside the hopper now it's significantly more cleaner with a lot less pulp buildup inside there. Now I want to share with you guys the reason why I love the Hurom H400 and all the Easy Clean series juicers, because it is the easiest vertical hopper juicer on the market to clean. Trust me, I mean, I love juicing in bulk with my different juicers, but I still hate the cleaning on the juicers that have the juicing screen, because I got to sit there and scrub, and the way I am meticulous and do it every single time perfectly to make sure all the holes are clear of pulp takes me 4 to 5 minutes. With this machine, there's no holes to get impacted with pulp. There's no screen that could get mineral buildup or collect heavy minerals on it. You just literally rinse this machine off. So let me go ahead and take you guys to my sink, and we're gonna go ahead and time to see how long it takes me to clean the H400 juicer. All right, so we're here at the sink, and now we're just gonna go ahead and clean out the H400. We're going to go ahead and hit the start button on the stopwatch, and now we're just going to go ahead and take this machine apart piece by piece. It's already fairly clean since we did the pre-clean function. We'll have to open that up, open this little hatch up, get all the pulp out right there. And then all we need to do is we're just going to go ahead and take the sprayer on my kitchen sink, and we're just going to literally spray off all these pieces until they're clean. And I mean, they spray off pretty easy, no scrubbing is required. Spray off the bottom half. Spray off the hopper here. Bottom of the hopper. All right, and then finally the main juicer parts in here. So spray this off, spray this down underneath here. Get underneath there, and spray this all down here. Make sure we got any last drips of pulp. Tip that over, and check it out, guys. Stop. We're done. 56 seconds to clean the H400. It's amazing. So you guys just learned how easy it is to juice in the Hurom H400. We made over a quart of juice easily and quickly, filling up the pulp catch container only once. We then cleaned out the juicer in less than a minute. Simply amazing. And now I want to show you guys what else the Hurom H400 can do. While it was designed as a juicer, it also has multiple features that many people may not show you guys online. So the Hurom, as it comes set up with no additional attachments or screens that can cost additional on other machines, can allow you to make the frozen fruit sorbet, also known as banana nice cream, because it's actually nice to cows. Also has 0 extra sugar added or preservatives or monodiglycerides or any of those crazy things that you don't want to eat. It's a great way to get more fruit in you, healthy fruit. We want to eat our 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Well, I love juicing the leafy greens and the root vegetables and other vegetables. I love to process my fruit just like this to eat it, especially on a hot summer day. Now, aside from making the sorbet that I'm going to show you guys right now, you can also make nut milks in the H400 and other Easy Clean series juicers as well. So in any case, let's go ahead and process these frozen bananas I literally just took out of the freezer, as well as these frozen wild blueberries from Trader Joe's in the H400. So to do this, I mean, you just set up the juicer to juice. That's all you need to do. You're going to go ahead and then close the spout cap. Then what's going to happen is all the sorbet is actually going to come out where the pulp usually comes out. You want to just catch in the pulp catch container. I'm just going to go ahead and catch it in my little Pyrex bowl so we can just eat directly out of these bowls. So we're going to save a little bit of the cleaning there. These could just set on the back, and the sorbet is just going to come out of this hole right there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and lift this up, and we're just going to go ahead and drop in a whole bunch of the frozen bananas. I have them cut into little 1-inch pieces so that they're going to drop into the juicer a little bit better. The cool thing is, once again, you can just load this up and let the machine process all your bananas while you wait. All right, so bananas are great, but I also want to add a high polyphenol berry. So we're just going to go ahead and dump in a lot of these frozen wild blueberries. These are the healthiest blueberries money can buy. We're going to go ahead and shut the lid. We're just going to go ahead and turn this machine on. And now the machine is going to process the frozen bananas as well as the frozen berries, and you guys can see instantly coming out the backside right there, we got our frozen berry and banana sorbet. It's almost like a little ribbon coming right out. You guys can see most we had berries, and now the berries are mixing with the bananas, and we got more of a lighter color. I really love the fluffiness of the ribbon, and I love turning the little bowl as it's coming out to make really cool designs. So if you got a kid, this would be their job. I mean, if you had the little cone, you could put a little cone underneath here and catch this stuff with a cone and eat it out of a cone. I prefer to just eat it out of the bowl. All right, this worked really well in the Hurom H400. Let's go ahead and turn it off. And now we got one bowl fill. Now I'm gonna do another bowl full. So we're just gonna go ahead and once again load up the hopper with more frozen bananas and more of these frozen wild blueberries, pesticide-free from Canada. All right, we're gonna go ahead and bring this up front and center for you guys. You guys can see the process a little better. And we're just gonna go ahead and shut the lid, turn this machine on, and let it process all the frozen bananas and berries. And look at it come out right there, guys. Totally amazing. The Hurom H400 makes frozen fruit sorbets out of any frozen fruits. I recommend things like bananas, mangoes, the berries. They work really well. You could even use cantaloupe. Watermelon doesn't work that good, so it's because it's so high in water content. The bananas work really well. Oh my gosh, look at that coming out. It's amazing. The bananas work really well because they're low in water content, about 70% water. Mangoes are also very good. Pineapples is another one. If you get the white sugar pineapples, they're excellent to do as well. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and let it process our bananas. We're gonna go ahead and keep spinning this around and around, and we're gonna come back at you when we have it all processed. All right, so we're just about done making the banana blueberry sorbet, and check it out, we got two nice bowls of blueberry banana sorbet. You gotta eat this quick, guys, because it'll start to melt on you, and I want you guys to be able to taste the amazing texture that the Hurom H400 makes. Let's go ahead and scoop a little bit of this off the top and try it. Wow. Just like that soft serve machine I used to have when I was a kid. Absolutely delicious. This is one excellent way to get more fruit in you, or especially in your kids, so that you and your whole family could start getting more fruits and vegetables in you. Fruits and vegetables are the healthiest plant foods on the entire planet, and most people unfortunately don't eat enough of them. The Hurom H400 Juicer makes it easy to batch juice lots of bulk juice for you and your entire family, as well as make amazing treats and desserts like the frozen fruit sorbet. Delicious. Now I do want to give you guys a heads up. The hopper shape is not optimally designed to basically drop in all the frozen fruit. I found at the end a lot of the bananas were getting kind of mushed up and sitting in the top of the hopper and spinning. So I kind of had to help it manually feed it in to the machine, and it seemed to get stuck because this hopper is not entirely round. It's kind of like round, but like one side is like has a wall on it, and then it has like a little part underneath, which probably helps it to juice and rotate the vegetables around. But when you're processing the frozen fruit, it doesn't help so much. So for that reason, I would recommend the H70. If sorbet is something that's very important for you to do, it seemed to work a little bit better, but also did get stuck at the top due to the higher RPM and the smaller hole opening in the top of the Easy Clean Design juicers. So now I want to sum up this episode and share with you guys what I liked and what I didn't like so much about the H400. What I really like the most is that it is an easy clean machine, and you guys saw on the video how it took me literally less than 1 minute to clean the machine. No longer will cleaning be an impediment for you to juice. You think, oh, I'm gonna juice, but it's gonna take me 15 minutes to clean. And I'm not joking. I've met people that have taken a half hour to clean their juicer, whereas you guys clearly saw this literally took me under a minute. You know, you could get your juicer out to make sorbet. It's not gonna be another 15 minutes to clean. I'm gonna take this and just hose it down, and in under a minute, it's done and clean, and I can enjoy my sorbet in peace while watching some Netflix. Likewise, you know, if you're going to be juicing, you could use that special auto clean technique that I showed you guys in this video to help keep it a little bit more cleaner, you know, eject some more of the pulp, and then you have it pre-soaped up and you just gotta spray it down. No scrubbing required. That's simply amazing. That makes me want to juice more in the Hurom than with other juicers where I still gotta scrub that screen down so much. Now, of course, the trade-off to the easy clean design is that yes, there will be a little bit more pulp in the juice that you can use a sieve to remove if you don't want it, but I would recommend you guys just keep it in there. There's probably more nutrition in the pulp when you drink it, and actually, according to some published studies, there's actually benefit to having a juice with more pulp in it, and you may get additional health benefits that you actually wouldn't have got if you have a more strained juice. Believe that or not. Now, I didn't like on the H400 the catch cup that seemed to get full really fast, and if I made more than 1,300 milliliters of juice, you would have to empty it. So this to me is not a true batch juicer because you just can't go and go. You do have to pay attention, and once you get a certain amount of juice, you will need to empty that collection cup. For that reason, I do like the H70 model that works pretty much the same. I found it worked a little bit better, and it has a separate catch cup that is significantly larger than the H400. Plus, the H70 costs a little bit less money as well. And here's the thing, guys. If you have been being held back from juicing because like you think, oh man, cleaning's a pain and the you know what, and that I don't want to sit there and push my produce in, but I want to drink the juice because I felt healthier when I drank juice 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I was motivated to clean and sit there and push all the produce in. That's what the Hurom H400 or other Easy Clean series juicers are made for. They're made for you so that you could get back into juicing and get the benefits of juicing today, so you don't have to just not juice because it's too hard or too time consuming to clean because you got to scrub out every little hole in the screen, and because those screens with stainless steel can have hard water and mineral buildups on there that will then end up blocking the holes and reducing your yield over time. Other than that, for me personally, I like to see how the juicer works with this machine. Of course, for some people that may be a pro because they don't want to see the juicer work, they just like the high-end look of this. It almost looks like a high-tech coffee maker to me because this is maybe where you put your beans, but you know, drinking some fresh green juice, in my opinion, is a lot healthier than drinking, you know, fresh brewed roasted coffee. Nonetheless, if you guys want to buy the H400, once again, I've negotiated the lowest price for you guys by using the coupon code HIGHEND. That's HIGHEND because this is the Hurom high-end juicer. And that'll save you guys a minimum of 10% off, but get you guys the lowest promotional price available at the time you place your order with the high-end coupon code at Hurom.com. Not only will you save the most money on your Hurom H400 or other Hurom model, Hurom will also share with me a small commission so I can continue to make these educational videos for you guys and show you guys how the machines work in the real world, and also share with you guys my personal opinions, the pros and the cons, the ins and the outs of every single major brand juicer out there so that you guys could make the right choice, because that's what's most important to me. I want to show you guys all the different machines and let you guys be an empowered consumer so that you guys have the knowledge you need to make the choice you want, because you know, no one company pays me off to make juicing videos. I represent all the major brand companies out there, and I try to be as fair as and impartial as I can, although I am human and have things that I like and don't like about juicers as well. But you know, your purchase using any of my coupon codes in any of my videos helps me out so I can continue my mission to educate y'all about the different vacuum blenders, juicers, and other appliances that allow you to process more fruits and vegetables and other plant foods in the best way possible to retain the most nutrients, to make it the easiest so you guys can eat more fruits and vegetables and other plant foods and become healthier one day at a time. So if you guys enjoyed this episode of learning how to make the juice in the Hurom H400, and more importantly, the frozen fruit sorbet in the H400, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also, be sure to share this with other people that are looking to buy a juicer, that hate the cleaning, that hate the process of juicing. The Hurom 400 is an easy clean machine that makes the juicing easiest of any of the juicers out there. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new and upcoming episodes. I've coming every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I show up, what new juicers I'll be unboxing, what new juicers I'll be comparing against each other, or what vacuum blenders or other appliances I'll be testing out, or knowledge bombs I'll be dropping on you to enhance your life and nutrition. Also, make sure you click the little bells to get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check our past episodes. Past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 800 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to teach you guys all about the different juicers and other appliances to process your fruits and vegetables and other plant foods the best ways possible. Links down below to some of the other videos I've made with the H400, as well as some of the other Hurom Easy Clean Juicer products out there. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.